Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Lin Pettit.
You're listening to The Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good.
Doing
Thanks
good,
for coming
doing
and chatting
good.
with us today.
My pleasure.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about what do you do? You have a store. Tell us about that.
Well, we have a family-owned hardware business that's been in my family since 1886, so it's 135 years old this year. I'm fourth generation. My dad was the last owner of it, and he passed away in 2003, and that's when I came in and took it over, and I was going to do it for a year just to say I did it, and now it's been 18 years.
Oh, it's longer than you're like,
It's
wow.
a little longer than a year.
Well, how's it been going since then? So you got it started. Is there what things have you noticed over the years since you started?
Well, we changed a few things around in the store. We set up, instead of everything being in little boxes where the clerk had to go get them for you, we set it up so it was a little more user-friendly and so a little more shoppability.
Yeah.
And that seemed to work out better. Some of the display pieces were higher, so you really couldn't see past them. So we took everything down so you could see the whole store, and so that kind of invited strolling around too. So that helped a lot. So
That's awesome.
we still have the same loyal customers and the same now people that are in their 50s that came in when they were little kids with their grandpa and
Oh, that's so cool.
reminisce and
Yeah. You see the generations coming in.
yes.
That's awesome.
And now
So-
since I've been there 18 years,
Yeah.
I've seen people bringing in their babies and now they're graduated from high school.
Right.
They're
yeah.
still coming in.
Yeah.
I
it's
know you said
interesting.
you planned on being there for only a year.
Only a year.
What was your plan after that year?
I
obviously
didn't have
plans
a plan. I
change,
had
but-
no plan
Okay.
after that. It was just
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was basically retired, and so I was just going to do this for a lark. And
Yeah.
as a child, I spent a lot of time down there. I enjoyed this hardware store and brought friends' bikes in and fixed them and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
so I liked being down there. So I thought, well, let me just run it for a year.
So is this the only location in town? Did you change buildings, or is it always the same building? You
I
guys
don't
have
know
had?
where they originally started, but we bought this building in 1903 from Kozacek's, the men's clothing store in Lansing.
Wow.
And so we've been there since 1903, and then we bought next door in 1905, so it's a double storefront.
Yeah.
So we've been there ever since.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know we've been chatting about the business. What is the business?
It's a hardware business.
There we go. We forgot that part.
So you guys have all the tools, everything you would need for
Yes, we
any
have
projects,
we
really,
have-
right?
We have tools, we have paint, we have plumbing supplies, the usual hardware, nuts and bolts, and
Yeah.
whatchamadoodies, and
I know I went into your guys' store the first time I came to Eaton Rapids to actually apply for this job. I was getting familiar with the area when I first started working here, and I was looking for old casters.
oh
Couldn't
yeah,
find them, and you guys had them. I was like, oh, yes! I wanted to redo a project, so you guys had them.
yeah. We carry all the basic stuff. You go to the big box store, and there's a wall of 20 different choices.
Yeah.
And the 5 in the middle are the ones people mostly buy. So that's what we're, that middle section. If you need something really fancy with a, super fancy finish on it or something, we probably don't have that, but we have all the basics.
Yeah.
The best thing we have is we have very experienced sales clerks that can help you
Yes,
through
you
your
do.
projects.
Yeah.
And they're very patient, and they'll take their time with you and teach you what you need to know. So that's the biggest feature of our store, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely customer service and the fact that they're willing to teach you and how long they've been there too. I know they've been there a long time.
Yes, I have one gentleman that's retired, and he's worked part-time for me for 14 years.
Okay.
And another, Bruce has worked for me for over 20 years. And
So they know what they're talking
They
about.
know exactly what they're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're very good at helping people. We had a woman come in a few years ago, and she had just bought a place, and she was by herself, and she needed to do some plumbing and some electrical in her bathroom. They taught her everything. They taught her how to solder. They taught her everything. She did it piece by piece, and they would draw it out for her, and she was so proud of herself. But she did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys don't have a part in store that someone's looking for, do you guys have the option to order it and get it in?
We do.
Okay.
We do. We're not always successful. Our supplier doesn't always have what somebody wants, but yes, we can, and we order on a weekly basis, so people don't have to wait more than 5 days usually.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, since you've had a small town business, what would you recommend for someone else in like a smaller town that has a business to just some advice for them?
Well, mostly you just got to hang in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and just you have to be frugal lots of times. And when I first took the store over, there were probably 5 people working there, and we slowly whittled it down. Well, and as my familiarity with the business,
Yeah.
and I was more active in it, I didn't need those people as much. So
Right.
you just have to watch trends, and you have to try to accommodate those kind of things, and be careful you don't jump on something and end up eating it, because nobody wants it after 2 weeks.
That's so true. That's so true.
But it's just, you really have to watch your pennies. That's basically, in
Yeah.
a small business, that's all you can do.
Did you get any advice when you took over the business?
No.
No.
I just
Yeah,
jumped
just
in.
kinda go with it.
I just jumped in, and, a lot of it's just common sense. But,
Yeah.
it wasn't, like I said, I went in there at the end of 2003, and then we had the little recession thing in 2008, and
Yeah.
there were things like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't have a crystal ball, because I probably wouldn't have done this. And then you slowly come out of that, and
Yeah.
So
where are you guys located? For everybody
we're
listening.
right in the middle of downtown Eaton Rapids. It's 141 South Main Street,
Okay.
so it's kind of the heart of the town.
Yeah. Right in the
That's
center.
awesome. That's awesome. I like it. Tell us a little bit about the history of the building.
Well, the building is a 4 storefront building. It's called the Leonard Block Building, and it was built in 1866. So in my store, we still have the original ceilings and the original floors. So when you walk on those floors, you walk where a Civil War soldier probably walked, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And it's been restored. Our 2 storefronts, when we took it over, it had to be retuck pointed and kind of refurbished, because
Yeah.
those old buildings get water behind them, and they pucker, and you have to do those things. So that's been restored, and there's a faceplate on the top that says Leonard Block 1866. Well, they took that piece down so they could do some repair work, and when they took it down, on the back of it is a tombstone.
Oh my.
And the irony is, the day they took it down is the date on the tombstone.
Oh,
So
really?
the guys bring it down, and they go, "Do you know that you have a tombstone?" I go, "How would I know? It's been into the face of the
I
building."
would have no idea.
So apparently the stone worker in town, there were a few places in town that did those things, just repurposed it.
Yeah.
But since then,
That's a crazy
I took a
story.
rubbing of it,
Yeah.
and since then, Deb Molesky did some research and found out this gentleman was from New York, and he's buried over by Onondaga, I believe.
Okay.
Wow.
So
That's far from
so-
New York.
Yeah, so he had come here.
Yeah. That's
So
interesting.
anyway, yeah, that was kind of an interesting piece that
I wonder what we have in our building, Brad.
we have to start taking things apart.
I know.
I know. Well, we did that.
We did. Yeah, we
You
did.
didn't find
You know-
anything interesting?
Well,
Not so far.
I don't
Not
remember. We found, what did we find?
You didn't find any old.
Nothing that exciting.
no tombstones yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't find any posters pasted on your walls or anything?
No, not in this building. No, we did didn't find that yet.
We did on upstairs of ours before they renovated. There were some old handbills and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
We found these random numbers on our brick wall.
Yeah, we're not sure what they go to. Yeah, but
they're just these random numbers, and everyone asks every time they come in the building. We don't know what they are.
we need to find the history of it, so then we can actually be like,
A little voodoo
This
or
is
something.
why.
They got numbers across the whole wall. Like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't start
Upstairs.
at 1.
Oh, they're just
starts at-
random? Some code?
it
I
is
don't know,
random.
but
They
it's-
don't go
you
in
can-
order.
You can see they're like counting,
Yeah.
but they don't start at the bottom, and they don't start at like. It's not a.
We'll have to show you. Yeah.
Do you know what was there before?
No, that's what we're trying to figure out because when I was looking, the building, like this building was built after the one next door. This one was built onto that building, so it was on the outside. That would have been the outside of the building. So I don't know if there was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's weird.
so if anyone listening has any idea,
Yeah, tell us. Tell us
Give us
what you
a
know.
hint.
we want the history here.
That's
funny.
awesome.
So I know you are 4th generation.
I am.
Growing up, did you have any idea that this is what you're going to be doing?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
No.
What did you want to be when you were a little girl?
I was one of those people that was like, what's next?
Yeah.
Let's just see what's around the corner.
Yeah.
And I've done lots of different things. I was a dental assistant. I worked in professional theater doing sound and lights, and I've been a secretary. Well, that was probably it. Everybody wanted to grow up and be a secretary.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of that. And then I just, whatever
Found your
came
way
up,
back.
if it sounded interesting, you try it. Mostly I figured if I didn't know I couldn't do it, I would try it.
Yeah. That challenge.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
most of the time you find out that you can figure it out, and that's the most fun.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really afraid of this. This wasn't the biggest
Right.
thing I ever jumped off from.
It's nice though that it's been circled back around and you're still in the business.
I know. I think that's
it going.
interesting because I've
Yeah.
lived in California and Texas, and I've lived all over the place. And then, when you're 18, you couldn't get out of town fast enough.
Right. And then you end
So
up
now
coming back
here I
home.
am, and I'm a block away from where I grew up.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
Yeah, but I like the town, and when I came back, I saw it with different eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this river's here. We used to play in it, but
Yeah.
I never had a canoe or anything. But I thought, gosh, the first thing I did is I bought a kayak.
Yeah.
And we a few years ago we had a kayak club, and there were quite a few of us, and we did a lot of that. And then having lived in California and Dallas, so they're really not walk around places. Coming here was like, oh my gosh, I just walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, and you really appreciated the amenities
Yeah.
that you took for granted growing up because they were just there. So yeah, it was fun to come back, and a lot of old friends, and I was able to reacquaint myself with some people that had been influential in my life that you didn't have a chance to really express to them how important
Yeah.
their part had been. So, and a lot of those people have passed now. So I feel like I'm very fortunate to have been able to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a real positive experience.
Nice. I know when you're 18, you just want to leave the town.
Oh yeah, can't get away
I
fast.
thought that too. I never left.
But yeah, it's a good place
Yeah.
actually.
That's awesome. So what do you got planned for the next year? Do you got any plan for the business or anything exciting you got going on?
Nothing really specific. Just you kind of just have to take it a month at a time, and see what happens. But we're always open to whatever comes along. I did put in a small gift shop, and so we sell things that are like local authors' books, different artistic things, paintings and pottery things, and so if anybody wants to put something in on consignment, they just bring it in, and if I think it's appropriate for the shop, then we'll talk. But it's kind of nice to have a place to put your wares and have them be seen. So that's kind of fun. And right now I have some really beautiful pottery in there. So
I'll have to go check that out.
I think that's in the window on this side of it.
yes,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
it's on the north store. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Christmas
it.
shopping checklist, right?
Yes, that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah, come on over, right?
That's right.
Well,
All
awesome.
right.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Yeah. Are these working?
Is your-
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we gotta tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like,
It might be there
might be right there too,
somewhere.
somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah, and it's
Red.
blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah. I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them to also give us a 5-star review if they listen to on Apple. That'd be cool.
5
5-star
stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take
But-
4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean, this
No,
is,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.
Yeah.